Good afternoon. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Tell us your name and tell us what you do.
I am Jen DuPlessis, and I am a speaker, I'm a coach, I'm a podcast host, and I'm an author.
Okay, that's a mouthful.
It is.
But all good.
Yeah.
So let's take the speaker first.
Yeah.
What do you speak about, and what is your hot spot?
Yeah, thank you. No, thanks for asking. My signature speech is really about lifestyle business mastery. And so what I mean by that is that, I'm helping people find what fulfills them in their lives so that they can have a successful business and be happy at the same time, right? And so many of us get trapped into and we're sabotaged by the almighty dollar and chasing it with our businesses that we're not enjoying our lives. And so I want to help them be fulfilled. So I'm a master at helping them do that.
And I'm assuming that you write books about this, and
I
magazines and articles?
Yes, I have magazine, tons of articles, tons of contribution. My book is called Launch: How to Take Your Business to New Heights. It in and of itself is not about the lifestyle, it's the how-to. We all know what we need to do to be successful, but most of us don't take action because we don't know exactly how to do it. So I wrote a how-to book on doing that.
Okay, so before I ask about the podcast, let me
Yeah.
ask you about your reason for being here today in a New York City Real Estate Expo,
Yes.
and how you feel you can make a difference
Yeah.
to either agents and buyers and sellers, or just real estate professionals in general.
Yeah, well, and we also have mortgage people here too. So I had a 35-year career in mortgage lending. I was top in the country, and I transitioned out of that a year and a half ago to pursue this, which is helping others achieve that same kind of success that I had. So everybody who's here is a potential client that I can help, right? And so I'm here to really see what's happening in the market, stay in touch with what's happening so that no one can pull the wool over my eyes as I'm coaching them.
All right, so tell us about your podcast.
Yeah, it's called Mortgage Lending Mastery. I was the first podcast for that space. I am ranked 1,267 in iTunes, which is hilarious because they just sent me
Phenomenal.
But that's phenomenal in the market, and I'm ranked number one in another listing. But it's really personal and professional growth for mortgage loan officers and realtors. And I obviously have entrepreneurs and whatnot who are also part of that too, because I travel with Les Brown. I'm on his speaking staff, and so I speak to universal entrepreneurs as well.
So tell us where I want to find it, and tell the watchers here, the viewing audience, where we can find the podcast and when is it available?
Yeah, well, it's available all the time. It's in perpetuity, right? Because it's out there. You can find it on iTunes, Mortgage Lending Mastery. We have a new release every Thursday in the marketplace. So Thursday afternoons, you can hop on and listen to it in your car and experience something.
Podcasting is wonderful. I do it also, and
Yeah.
it's like a whole new world. We talk about technology revolution. It is a whole new world. It's not like radio in the day where if you missed an episode of something,
Yeah, you missed it.
you missed it, and
Yeah.
that was it. You
Yes.
couldn't go back to
It's
it.
like DVRing TV now, right? It's like Netflix.
100%.
You can binge listen. If you want to binge listen, you can binge listen to it, and that's great. And the thing is, we're at the very, very start of podcasting.
Yes.
I think people think that it's saturated. Everybody's a podcaster. Right now, the statistic is that we have 780,000 podcasts, 29 million episodes that are out there. Of that 780,000, 126,000 podcasts are active. And the definition of that
That's incredible.
is somebody has released an episode in the last 60 to 90 days, which means a lot of them have gone on and have stopped. So there's a whole world ahead of us. We're just at the very, very tip of this.
I'll give you a little funny story. When I was first asked to do a podcast 5.5 years ago, mine is running that long. I said to the producer who called me on the phone, I thought he was joking. I said, "What is a podcast?"
Yeah.
And the name sounds stupid.
It's weird, yeah.
How do you even spell that?
Yeah.
Look at where we are 5 years later.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Well, mine's been out for 4.5, so I'm one of the first, initiators in it as well. And, we were talking about it today in one of the sessions and asking people, and what we saw from the room is 40% of people in that room are listening to podcasts. The others aren't. So we've got a long way to go. And we were talking about how you can make money being a guest, how you can make money being a podcaster, but also how you can make money being a listener. Yeah, so much money to be made being a listener just by looking at someone and saying, gosh, I love your podcast, let's connect, and the opportunities are just available.
And also people tell me as well, it's all of that,
Yep.
but it's educational, it's informative, and people
Yeah.
say, depending on what your topics are, It's better to listen to a podcast. You get more out of it
Yeah.
than you do if you go to a class and sit down and do whatever.
Yeah, well, and we also know
And
that...
I agree with that.
Yeah, and we also know that podcasts, the average podcast is 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're shorter, sometimes they're longer. And most people will listen to 80% of the podcast before they hang up. We don't get that type of attention when we tweet
You got your
something.
stats down.
Well, when we tweet, I'm a podcaster, right? When we tweet something, when we put a Facebook thing out, we don't get that type of attention.
Right.
Certainly not that long. No one would ever sit and watch a video for 30 minutes on
No.
Facebook.
And that's why they cut it back to 1 or 2 minutes on
Yeah,
Instagram, and
yeah.
Facebook is a little longer than that.
Absolutely.
But it's the truth.
Yeah.
Listen, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for
I really
having
appreciate
me.
it. Nice to see you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.